during interview he just showed me a Medium post, and he just told me to read this strategy, and there was some post about like advanced Lisco principle. Then he tell me to read it for a few minutes. Then I go through the whole post, and after say yes, I done with this post. Then he said like, okay, so now what do you understand about this? What do you understand about this strategy? Then he asked me to implement that strategy onto the application that I have built till now. That was the tricky question that I found.
Hey, we are back with another inspiring story, and this time it's Amit from PCCU who secured a role at EPAM.
So without wasting any time, I am Madhav.
I am Tanish, and let's get started.
Hi Amit, welcome to the show. Super excited to have you here. Let's start with a quick introduction. Which college you go to, and what was your branch, and how did you get interested in computer science?
First of all, thank you for inviting me here. And I'm currently a final year student at Pimri College of Engineering and Research, Pune. I have a computer science background, and I'm currently intern at an EPAM systems. So yeah, so in that, currently the whole world is evolving around the tech. So that attracted my interest in the computer science field. Before EPAM, I interviewed around 3 to 4 companies. Out of that, I had cracked the 3 interviews. And yes, I had 3 internships. And then after that, after doing some mistakes in one interview, I got the another chance at EPAM, and then I cracked EPAM.
Nice.
Okay, so we talked about internships. So how do one apply for internships, and what is the process behind it?
Like for applying internships or on campus, it's easy. Like you get a link, you apply through that, you directly get the chance for the online assessment or then online screening round. But for the off campus, when you get to know about if there is an opening in a company, you should directly apply there. And while applying, you should make sure that your resume is well fitted. Like before applying, you can check directly. There are many online tools like ATS score tools. You can check whether your resume is fit for that role.
Okay. Can you also specify how did you landed into the 3 internships? Like what were the companies, and was it through a campus placement? Was it offline, or was it through a referral?
Like my first company was in a referral. My friend's relative was a part of the company, so they referred me there. The second one was in on campus, the Scalable Technologies, where they had a normal DSA round and object-oriented programming related interviews. And the third one was the Amazon ML Summer School, which they conduct every year during the time duration of the August to July. Like I was following many Amazon employees onto the LinkedIn, and one posted about it. Like they had an opening, and they had posted the link to apply. And on the same day, I had a resume which was aligning to that role, so I directly applied it. And then they took the test related to the aptitude and machine learning, and then the coding round. Then I got into the Amazon.
Oh, very nice. So the tip here is you should be active on LinkedIn, and you should always aim for a company, and just keep sending connection requests to those people who are working in that company, or just follow them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you said that EPAM was part of your campus placement. So is there any way that we can apply to EPAM off campus as well?
Yeah, they have several openings on their career portal. So, so if there any opening, you can directly apply from there, or you can get a referral for that opening.
Okay. And how did the process is? How many rounds are there, and what kind of stages did you get through?
Like first was the screening round where they asked about the coding and aptitude.
Okay.
The second one was a group discussion. They had 2 technical interviews, and then one final is an HR interview. After that, they do the selection process.
Okay. So let's jump into your preparation journey. Like when did you start taking preparation seriously during your college years?
Like in my first year I was just normally exploring the various concepts, terminologies. In the second year I started doing DSA and competitive programming. And yes, like following doing codes on HackerRank, Hacker Earth, and Lead Code. That were these three were my main platform to practice coding on, and just reading blogs on the Geeks for Geeks about the other interview experience, the things they asked.
Got it. Got it. So how did you go about learning aptitude or CS theory?
Like for CS fundamentals, like it was also included in our college curriculum. So the CS fundamental was not the issue. And for the aptitude, I was like daily visiting 10 to 20 questions on India Bigs. And our college had also performed had also undergone some boot camps for the aptitude and other coding rounds. So that also helped me a lot in my placement.
Nice. Nice.
We have also this part in our curriculum, like there are 3 to 4 seniors that are allocated as our mentors, and they took now 2 to 3 interviews weekly by weekly.
Okay, so that's a nice curriculum then. And you said that so because EPAM, we all know that EPAM is mainly focused on Java. So can you just show some strategy that how did you learn Java, and like are there any resources online which are available, which are good, or uh, one should apply for a class or coaching to learn Java? Like what is your recommendation?
Like for particularly Java, there is no like any exact resource that I would say. Like you can just normally focus on solving the DSA problems using the core Java concepts, rather than using any libraries or some shortcuts. You can directly solve the problems in Java, and try to build few applications, like few projects into the core Java project.
Hmm.
And it will help if you have a approach if you have a target toward Java programming language. One can follow any YouTube playlist. Like I normally follow the Telesco or Coding with
Hmm.
Durgesh. They are the two my favorite YouTubers that are teaching very good in the Java.
Correct.
And like the main thing is like hands-on. The more you hands-on, the more you have practice, the more it helps.
True. True. Agreed. Good. So you said the first round was the coding and aptitude round, right?
Yeah.
What was it like? Like it was mostly coding or a mix of MCQs and puzzles?
Like in my first screening round, it was mostly coding.
Okay.
Aptitude were easy and they had a sufficient time. But for the coding, they had like two medium lead code level questions, and each has like 5 to 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes to solve. So that was the thing. Like you have to find a optimal approach in a minimum time. So
Okay.
that was the first thing.
And from two, how many questions were you able to solve?
Out of two, I was able to solve both of them, as both of them were standard questions.
Okay.
Like the question was like on the based on the story, but
Okay.
but if you got the idea, then it was a simple graph traversal.
Okay.
You just had a list. You have to traverse it as in a graph, and then you have to find the minimal element. I don't remember the exact question. It was
Hmm.
like, while seeing it for the first time, the one might find it is a big question, and only for 10 to 12 minutes has been provided.
Hmm.
But if you just take calm and read the question, then it will give you the idea. Like it's a basic simple question. You just have to follow this approach, or you use this algorithm, and it will give you the answer.
Cool. So how did you manage your time during that round? Were you more focused on aptitude questions, or more focused on the lead code medium level questions?
The aptitude questions were like basic to like for either a pattern or simple interest or the reflection.
Okay.
The main part was the coding questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, was there a specific time allocated, like 10 minutes for one question, or there were 20 minutes and you have to solve both?
Like for coding, they have allocated two questions for 40 minutes. One
Mm-hmm.
was uh, one was a little bit easy, and one was a little bit of medium.
Mm-hmm.
And for the aptitude, they had a basic 30 minutes for questions. They were easy question, but the thing was, like, you should be able to solve all the questions within the given time. And that was, as they are easy questions, everyone was able to solve the aptitude question. But the thing was, no one was able to come up with a simple approach or the optimized approach for the solution.
Correct. because it's very hard for someone to get optimized approach in just 10 minutes. So yes. Uh, Also, were there any criterias that like all the questions need to be solved to get into EPAM, or like even if one solved 1.5 question, like some of the test cases are failing, that also is acceptable?
Yeah, that's also acceptable. If you even if you are not provided any optimized solution, but if you also made a brute force for any single question, or you have passed the few test case of the first and few for the for the second, the partial solution is also accepted.
Okay. Maybe. So before technical round, there was also a GD round.
Yeah.
So, what GD round and how was it conducted?
Like it was not a normal GD round. They
Hmm.
they just gave a situation like we were at 20 people in a GD room. They mentioned like out of all of the 20, 10 are the crew members, 10 of the crew members of a ship, and the 10 of the normal passengers.
Okay.
And the ship is starting to sink. Then what would you approach? How will you do this? Then they just switch the 10 people to crew members and 10 people to normal normal passengers, and then they just ask the question like how would you do that, how will you do that, and just the GD round goes on like if the ship is sinking, what will you do, what will be the first thing you do.
Yeah. So basically, you were making Titanic in the GD room.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Uh,
Mhm. Like into the technical, they had two technical interviews, but
Mm-hmm.
the same interviewer was allocated to me for the both of the interviews. So the interviewers said we merge both interviews to the one, and I had nearly 1 to 1.5 hour interviews. uh, the first half was a little bit of basic DSA questions, like how would you solve this, how would you solve if I give you this kind of problem, how will you optimize it, how will you get to know what kind of approach you should follow.
Correct.
Okay. So as you mentioned, like some of the DSA questions were asked. So was it more about live coding or explaining like what are your thoughts and what are the approaches?
Like it was like they normally show you like they normally show any lead code question, and they tell you that you read it for 4 to 5 minutes, and
Mm-hmm.
then he ask you like what was your first approach, how would you think, what was your brute force approach, how can you optimize this
Mm-hmm.
solution, what is your most optimized solution.
Okay. Okay. And like how much was the priority given to DSA versus development? Like was it 50-50 or 70% of DSA questions were asked and then 30% of time was spent on the development related questions? Like what was the division between the both?
Like was it was like 60-50. The 60% was inclined to DSA, and
Mm-hmm.
the 40% was related to like what projects are done, and he mentioned to like to build an application, like to tell how can you build it, to write a normal code to build that application. So like it was 60-40. 60% was inclined to DSA and 40% toward development.
And what kind of questions were asked on development? Like can you come up with one or two questions?
Hmm. Like it was related to Java. So he mentioned like there is you have to there is in a zoo, and you have to make a zoo application to manage an employees and manager. So how you can make it? So how you can make the one? So I said like there would be like a manager class, employee class. Then he has like how you implement inheritance, interfaces, abstract classes. He asked me to write a code to make an abstract class, interfaces, and normal child classes
So
and concrete
basically,
classes.
interviewer was covering all the Java 8 concepts using some examples.
Yeah, normal basic core Java. And he also said to like normally we discuss like how would you build the application. Then he just gave me a pen and paper and
Mhm.
told me to write the exact syntax of how will you build the application.
Okay, interesting.
Mhm.
And any questions that completely surprised you or made you think on your feet?
Yeah, actually, during interview, he just showed me a Medium post, and it just told me to read this strategy. And there was some post about like advanced Lisco principle. Then he tell me to read it for a few minutes. Then I go through the whole post, and
Mhm.
after say yes, I done with this post. Then he said like, okay, so now what do you understand about this? What do you understand about this this strategy. Then he asked me to implement that strategy onto the application that I have built till now. That was the tricky question that I found.
So how did you manage, like, what was your thought process when you were reading the Medium article? What was your thought process and how did you apply it on the questions which you have earlier solved?
Like it was related to the Liskov principle, as the you should include a new as if you have to include a new child class, then it should not violate the other design principles, and it should be able to replace the other parent classes. So that was the thing. Like they while in the medium post they have you mentioned some examples like how you can do this, how you can do that. So
What?
that thing also helped me a little bit, and I was like while I was reading, I was thinking like this thing I has done in the application. This thing I mentioned, like this thing can also be done. So that thing also helped me.
Got it. Got it. And while solving a DSA question in a technical interviews, if you are stuck at some point, so what is the approach you follow?
Like while solving the DSA question, many of the times the interview that was the thing that I did wrong in the first interview. Like the interviewer give me a DSA question, and I stay silently writing the solution for 2 to 3 minutes. So that was the thing that anyone should avoid. Like for example, if any interviewer give like this like solve this question, or what would be your best solution. So
Mhm.
like instead of directly jumping onto the solution, we should discuss with interviewer like what are the edge cases, what
Right.
are the constraints, what are the memory constraints. So that was the thing I first discussed. Then he mentioned like you have to use this, not this, and just don't assume the things. Like if you have mentioned this, then you will get like in my case he had mentioned to get the like top n element. So like instead of directly assuming, I directly ask, will I get a list or an array? So
Very
yeah,
well.
that was the thing.
Yeah.
Like if you are while solving, if you're continuously communicating with your interviewer, it would be like a great start.
Right. So very well said. So when you are getting into interview, you should get all the functional requirements, like what interviewer is expecting, and are you both on the same page instead of assuming things help and like make the interview process very easy.
Yeah, like hmm.
Yeah. So like, do you feel communication and problem solving approach make a difference?
While solving any problem solving question, the communication should be must. Like you should not directly start writing the solution. You should be communicative with your interviewer. Like I thinking about this approach. I'm thinking about using arrays instead of list. Why you choose arrays? And this is my brute force solution, and I can optimize this solution while removing this constraint, while removing this element. So yeah, communication while problem solving is must.
So everything of this was on a computer, laptop, or you were given pen and paper to solve all of this?
Like all things I was given a pen and paper. I had to write the exact syntax.
Okay.
uh, hmm.
Okay, cool. So how was HR round, and was it chill, or it was more structured, and you have to it was like a MR round, not HR?
It was my HR was little bit of a chill. So like the interviewer was like a little bit chill. He just mentioned like he just saw my resume, and he asked like you had done before this you had done 3 internship. What was your experience with that?
Mhm.
How was the interview process of the EPAM? And he just mentioned like if there is a conflict in your team, how will you resolve it? If there is a conflict with your manager, how will you resolve it? And what was your future
Mhm.
goal? Yeah, it was a little bit chill. It was like 15 to 20 minutes interview.
Oh, very nice. So, were there any technical questions like Java related or something? No, though all those were covered into technical rounds.
Yeah, technical rounds.
Okay.
All all right. So let's go to the big moment. So when you got the EPAM offer, what was your first reaction?
Like I was very happy for when I got the first offer from the EPAM. Like, but before EPAM, I had a few offers in my pocket, so it was not like the big smile on my face. But yeah, I was happy with the offer that I got from the EPAM.
What all offers did you had before EPAM?
Hmm. Like I had one offer from a startup, and as one another, like it was on a ongoing process from the Amazon only.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. And who did you tell first and how did you celebrate?
Mm. Like about like I was studying from the Amazon interview process, and my friend called me like, you got shortlisted on EPAM, you got shortlisted on EPAM. Then I checked my mobile and saw I got the email from college, email from EPAM that you have been shortlisted. Then I informed my parents. Then I called at my college, like, I got this offer from EPAM, I got this mail from EPAM.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So must be a nice feeling then, like you're worth something, right?
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Right. So we have done a market research and we found out that EPAM offers around 10 to 12 LPA for a fresher. So does that match your offer or like it does not? Like was the range correct?
Like, I will not comment on this. Yeah, but
Okay.
it's a similar range.
Okay. Thanks for it. So, like, just wanted to know, were there any cool perks like relocation support or joining bonuses? Does EPAM offer that to freshers or no?
Yeah, EPAM also offer like joining bonus and relocation bonus.
No, okay. Nice, nice.
Mm.
Oh,
Along with that, they also had like a very cool environment into the office. Like, it's a there are many learning opportunities into the EPAM. If any fresher is targeting EPAM as a learning journey.
yes, yes.
So now let's talk about the life at EPAM so far. So now we have joined EPAM. What was like, how is your role look like?
I'm currently working like in currently on the Java as a main, and I'm working on the Docker and Kubernetes, like on containerization. Yeah, I just started this week with the Docker.
And how different is the real world experience compared to what you expected back in the college? Like,
Uh, hmm. like when I was building a project in the college, we don't normally see where are there any code smells, or if you're following any design pattern, like what is the code coverage. But when you got in the real world, we got to know that the application should be like, it should not fail when anything happens. There should not be any cyber attacks, and the project should be in well structured. If other developer is trying to work on the project, you should know what the code is. So yeah, while in college, we like normally give the variable name int a, int b, abc. But in real world, if we write the name of like abc, like other people ask, what is the variable name a, what is the variable b. So yeah,
Mm,
that was the main difference.
correct, correct.
apart from the work, like what all activities and what all things you enjoy at EPAM?
Like at EPAM, we have every Friday we have fun Friday events. We play for 2 to 3 hours onto the Friday on the different kinds of game. And
Nice.
we also had at the end of the month, we also had some events.
So it's
Like
a
there's
happening culture then.
yeah.
Very nice. Uh, so let's imagine this that you have a little brother and he's giving interview of EPAM after a month. So what would and he doesn't know anything yet. So what would be the 1 month preparation strategy for him?
Like for the 1 month, like to have a basic understanding of a Java core concept, and
Correct.
to have a strong problem solving approach, to know the basic algorithms, and when to use which algorithm, when to
Hmm.
use binary search, when to use DP, when to use graph,
Correct. Yes.
and to have a broad idea about what all the Java 8 features, Java 17 features.
Correct.
Mhm.
And how many DSA question he should solve in a month?
Like, I suggest like every day 2 to 3 is must for everyone, for anyone who is targeting any MNC.
Correct. Correct.
And
Uh,
if you want to prepare for interviews again, like if you want to prepare for interviews, you opted for again, what things you will follow differently? Like during your preparation journey, you might have faced like, if I would have done these things in a different manner, would have impacted more. So like, what is your experience about that? Like, can you share a bit?
Like regarding interviews, like instead of just mugging up the theory, you should know what that thing actually means. Like
Hmm.
we should not, like I have seen many of my friends who just mug up like what is the polymorphism, what is the object oriented programming. They just mug up and mug up the standard 40 Java questions. Instead of that, if you spend more time onto the understanding of the basic concept, and you try to give multiple mock interviews, like it builds a confidence before the interview. Like what are they going to ask, and what you should answer.
Correct, correct.
Got it.
Like you said that a lot of things about mugging up and everything. So I had a question that uh, did EPAM also ask you about core computer science fundamental concepts like DBMS related, like first normal form, second normal form, or SQL queries, or OS related like OSI modeler, network related, something like that?
Like they didn't really touch the domains like the computer networks and the operating system. But
Hmm.
yeah, they asked a little bit about what is a MySQL, and write a query for this, write a query for that. But like, they
Hmm.
didn't go that deep into the DBMS. They
Okay.
had just main focus on the problem solving and the Java.
Okay. Understood. 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 Let's start with a rapid fire round, which is very fast paced and fun. So just do not think much. Just say whatever is coming into your mind at the first thought. So if you have to describe EPAM in a word,
Learning opportunities.
most overrated myth about placements.
Mhm.
Most.
Luck matters.
Oh, is it? That is a myth.
If you are prepared, for an opportunity, then the opportunity will directly come at you if you are well prepared for it. And if you're applying, if you're giving your 100%, then the opportunity will directly come to you.
Wow. Oh, well said. Well said. What's more stressful, failing a test case or forgetting your ID?
Mhm. Forgetting your ID.
Nice.
Any last minute trick that worked for you?
Mhm. Like before an interview or any of the thing, like you should not be scared. You should stay calm and be confident with what all things you have. As many of the interviewers, they don't expect you to answer the all of the 100% questions, but they just expect you to be confident while you're solving any problem or while doing anything.
Any weird or totally unexpected interview question did you still remember?
Hmm. Like I mentioned earlier, they just give me the medium post and they said me to read this and implement into their application. That was the most weird and difficult thing that I got.
Okay, what superpower do you wish you had during the placement?
Hmm. Photographic memory.
Nice, nice. And you're saying that you should not mug up. Okay. If you could install an app in your brain, let's say, what would it be?
ChatGPT.
Nicer.
So before we wrap up, what's one solid piece of advice you'd give to students who feel stuck or anxious during placements?
Mhm. Like just stay calm and just focus on your learning. Focus on the process, not the destination. Like if you have strong concepts, strong basic understanding of the things, and you're confident with your solution, then don't just be like the other people are getting placed and not getting placed. Everyone gets the opportunity, and when you get the opportunity, you should not miss it.
And during the
Correct.
entire preparation, focusing on your other activities like your mental health is also important, right? So when you are anxious and when the placement time arrives close, how did you handle that pressure?
During our placement session, many of the peer or my friends were so much stressed, like we have to cover this much things, this much concepts. So before the interview, the companies are coming. So like at that time, just switch off everything, switch off phone, switch off laptop, and give yourself 2 to 3 hours of my peace. just
True, true.
just give your mind to settle down, and then directly start preparing again. Just don't be like like learning, reading, solving.
Correct.
One of the like most important thing which student miss during their preparation. So like staying calm also helps. So if someone is
Yeah,
like well prepared, 100% prepared, but he's still anxious, like how the interview will go and with all that things, then he'll not be able to give his 100%. Instead of staying calm helps.
yeah,
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I'm sure this is going to help a lot of students who are preparing right now, who wants to prepare for EPAM, and even for not just EPAM, for any other company as well, because you've given such a nice advices to just handle the interview. So wishing you all the best at EPAM and beyond, and wishing you all the success.
Thank you, Amit,
yeah,
for staying with us. Hope to see you soon in near future.
yeah.
Yes.
So that was it. If you want us to cover any specific companies or have any specific questions, do let us know in that comment section.